Hey everyone. Let me go live here, and let's go live on Instagram perhaps. Can I do this? Let's see. I guess not. Instagram's gonna have to sack them off because I can't go live on Instagram as well on here. Hey guys, what is up? Hello. It is evening time. Hey girl. Hey, who is this? So some of you guys won't have come to a call like this, a live, mostly because typically we do them in the daytime, and so you guys are at work, but we're in the States, so I thought, why not do one specifically for you guys? Now you've probably finished work or coming close to it, so why not do one for you guys? So when you are here, if you could let me know who you are, say hi, I'm here, and put your name in the comments so I can see, because otherwise this comes up just says hey girly and I can't see the name. Teresa, hey. So welcome. Today we are going to talk about, well, first off, I put a poll in our Facebook group and I asked you guys, like, what do you want? And you guys come up with you voted for the option of grab and go snacks that you can have between meetings so you can still lose weight. Very rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Hey, Crystal. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk a little bit about what happens in the body, what you probably find yourself doing, and what you can do to change that. And then, of course, I'm going to give you some snacks that you can just go and buy. And there we go. Happy days. Okay, so let's first of all talk about what normally happens, because I've been there where I've been going to work in my old job. I've been going from meeting to meeting, and actually in this job too, where I'm going, okay, I'm not going physically to meetings, but I'm on call after call after call. I don't move for hours sometimes. And in my old job, I would like walk across campus and I'd be like running from one meeting to the next. Sometimes I don't get lunch. Sometimes I just haven't got time to eat, or I'm eating at my desk. And what typically happens, what you probably find, guys, is that maybe you skip breakfast because you haven't got time. Then you may get lunch, but probably not. You grab a little bit here and there about 3 o'clock when your sugar starts to crash and you get that coffee in, because coffee's a snack, right? And then on the way home, you're like, I'm just going to quickly like call into the gas station, or I'm going to just call in to Walgreens and pick up some snacks. Hey, Gannett, I'm in Florida too. Or maybe you vomit home and then you get in and you're like, oh my God, I'm so hungry. And you just start to like binge everything from your pantry, right? You're like elbow deep in the Oreo sleeves. You've got Dove kisses like everywhere, or Dove moments everywhere. Hershey kisses, I know. I'm getting there, guys, okay? I'm still learning your lingo. And then all of a sudden you've got like empty wrappers all around you. You don't even want dinner now because you're just full of snacks. You're full of like sugar, and you start to feel like, oh, you feel gross. You're like laying on the sofa like, oh my God, I feel like crap. Why do I do this to myself? I'm such a failure. This isn't working. I can't do this. And then you get stressed out. You're like, tomorrow I'm going to do it. Or Monday, we all say that. Or Monday, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. But the same thing happens over and over and over. And you think, well, I should be losing weight because I'm not eating breakfast. I'm not eating lunch. I have a couple of snacks here and there, but typically I'm not eating anything. So why am I not losing weight? Oh, Jane's here. It's 6 a.m. in Vietnam. Wow. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday for you, Jane. So what is the problem? What is happening? So we've got these long hours. Maybe you commute also to work, which takes like an hour each way. That's going to increase it. You're not eating at regular times because you're eating like as and when you can. And sometimes that's not till later. And then you're having these sugar spikes and crashes. When you have these crashes, it's going to make you want more sugar. It's going to want you to eat more food. It's going to be almost an insatiable like feeding situation going on. Which also then contributes to increased cortisol levels. So this is your stress hormone. And as we know, cortisol is going to make you maintain body fat. It's going to make you gain belly fat. And it's going to make you want more carbs and more sugar. So now we've got this cycle, this perpetual cycle of not eating enough, binging, having sugar high, having a sugar crash, needing more food, and rinse and repeat, okay? Feeling stressed out. Energy will also go along this cycle too. So maybe you wake up, you get your Starbucks, you have your double vanilla pump or whatever you're having. Sugar spikes, caffeine spikes, you've got energy bouncing off the wall. Slowly that starts to dip off. Maybe you grab like a croissant or some pastries on the way to the office. You'll pick back up. And when you get there, you're going to have another coffee. We're going to go up. And then all of a sudden, a couple of hours, maybe an hour later, you're like, oh my God, this day is like the longest day. I can't believe it's only 3 o'clock. It's actually only 11 a.m., right? Tell me you've been there before. I have. And so your energy levels are going to be up and down, up and down. You're going to have more caffeine to stay awake, which then means your sleep is going to suffer. And even if you tell me, no, it doesn't affect my sleep, it does. Okay, it does affect the quality of your sleep. So even if you're like, I can go to sleep straight away, the quality still won't be there, okay, which that is what you're looking for. And overall well-being, you're going to stop beating yourself up, like we've already mentioned. You're going to feel like a failure. You're going to feel stressed out. Can't even do this. You feel like I've got my life together. Everywhere else, like business, work is going really well. Career is going well. Got good family relationships, good friendship relationships. My relationship is good. But I don't recognize myself when I look in the mirror. Yeah, I know you guys have said that to me quite a lot. So what shall we do about this? Okay. We could carry on in the cycle, eating less and less and less and trying to move more, hitting the spin class, possibly doing your HIIT, doing whatever it takes to get there. Or we can take a different approach because that hasn't worked for the last however many years, probably since before COVID. So why are we still doing that? And instead, now we're going to start making a little bit more reasonable changes, which a lot of you are going to be like, boring next. But the hardcore stuff, the highs and the lows, the severe restrictions and all this HIIT and the spin classes are not working for you. So maybe you should take a different approach, okay? Let's think about this. If you were in work and you were like, this is how we do it, this is what we're going to do, this is how it's supposed to be done, this is what we're told to do, they told us if we do this, it's going to work. And then you put this protocol into place. Perhaps you get your team on board, you get senior management sign off, everything ticked off, or you get the direction from the senior management team. But it didn't work. It doesn't work. You've tried it for like 90 days. It doesn't work. In fact, you're losing customers or you're losing progress or, the project is failing. Are you going to carry on doing that? Or are you going to say, hey, this isn't working. We need a different approach. I know that's scary to stand up to other people. But ultimately, that's what you're going to do to yourself. You need to stand up to yourself, your previous conditioning, and the majority of the media, to be honest, when it comes to weight loss. And we need to start taking and making different changes. So we need to emphasize our boundaries. That's the first thing. We need to ourselves, not to anyone else. That comes later. But first of all, we need to understand how to plan and prep for busy days. You might say to me, well, all of my days are busy. Okay, then it's even more important for you to do this. Because if you're consistently going through this cycle of highs and lows, restrict, binge, then that is your life. And unfortunately, you're going to have to carry on living like that, but you need to change and make adjustments for that. So ideally, you want regular meal times. If you know you're not going to be able to grab lunch, for example, then we need to think about, let's have breakfast for a start. Oh, I can't eat in the morning. Yeah, because you don't. Like, try it. Okay, that's the first thing. And you can start with something really easy. I'll give you some examples of like for the day shortly. But for now, for breakfast, something like a bar of some sort. Like maybe you can make your own bar, or some yogurt or a smoothie or a protein shake of some sort. They're going to be really helpful because it's going to have protein in it. You're going to have the veggies in, and they're going to be easy to digest. So it's not like you're trying to, like, I don't know, eat a steak for breakfast, right? When your gut hasn't woken up yet. Start with liquid foods, or like, something that's easy to digest. Maybe it's a fruit. That would be an okay breakfast. The best breakfast is going to be high protein and high fat, okay? And high fiber, actually. High protein, fat, and fiber. If you do that, that is going to be satiating. It's going to keep you full until the afternoon. And then if you miss lunch, it's not too much of a drama. But that is what I would recommend. So like eggs are a really good option. Eggs, bacon, those kinds of jazz. But specifically, like, eggs are going to be really good with some vegetables. Maybe you could have like an omelette. And you could make that like the day before maybe and reheat it up. I don't know. I'd probably wake up like 10, 15 minutes early just to make it that day. And I know lots of people say overnight oats. They are also fine. But again, obviously it's going to have the higher carbs in, which might make you crash a little bit earlier. That's fine. Load it with protein, have some chia seeds or some extra seeds in it, and that is going to slow down the digestion of the carbs from the oats, okay? So make sure you plan in. If you have breakfast and like, lunch is going to be a write-off, I've got meeting after meeting after meeting, plan something in for like 3 p.m. or 3 or 4 p.m. or before you leave. That's even a better shout than waiting till you're on your drive home or until you actually get home. Okay, so we need to start making those plans. The next thing is thinking about small snacks or grazing. Lots of people think you should have 3 meals a day, which is, ideal. But sometimes we haven't got time for that. So grazing is another option that you guys can do. What is grazing? It's having smaller meals throughout the day where we can just pick up a couple 100 calories here, a couple 100 calories there, and as and when, rather than like a full-on meal. The pros of this is that it's easy to grab. You don't have to sit down and, like, digest a steak or something. But you can tell we just had steak, can't you? But the cons are that your body doesn't fully go through the digestive system, or your gut doesn't clear out. The gut takes about 3 to 4 hours to fully clear out. But if you're constantly adding on a little bit of food, a little bit of food, a little bit of food, it doesn't do that full cycle. It doesn't have a rest in between each kind of eating window, shall we say, or eating time. What is the right word for that? Eating session. Let's say session. That's not the right word, but let's go with that. So you can have smaller meals. Your meals or snacks should have high protein and they should be low calories because they're going to be eating more regularly. This doesn't mean that you can only eat 1,200 calories a day. It means that if you're going to be eating 200 to 300 calories per meal and you're going to have 4, that's going to be 1,200 calories. And then you're going to have your dinner when you get home, right? Or you're going to have your breakfast or both. So you've got to still got to be conscious of the calories that we're eating in total. And this is why planning your food and planning meals in advance is really, really important. So my recommendation would be to go into MyFitnessPal, put everything in for the day ahead. So for tomorrow, put everything in and check where you are with your calories, check where you are with macros, and adjust as needed. So for example, if you found that you're like, whoa, I'm on like 3,000 calories, you should probably bring that down a little bit, because it doesn't matter if you eat those 3,000 calories in a fasting window or like an eating window. So say you fast for 20 hours, eat for 4. If you eat 3,000 calories in that window, you're still going to gain weight. If you eat the 3,000 calories across 20 hours, you're still going to gain weight. Okay, so you've got to know that the calories are most important over meal timing. The next thing is you're going to look at your macros, making sure that you're hitting enough protein. This is the one thing, there's two things actually, but this is the first thing that we work on with clients when they first sign up with us. This is probably the most important thing you can be focusing on, that and fiber. They are the two most important things that you need to be focusing on in order to lose weight. So you need to make sure that you're hitting protein across the day, right? And then what this is going to mean is that your blood sugar levels are going to be a little bit more stable because you're not having these highs and these crashes. We're focusing on high protein, we're focusing on high fiber. That means, again, your energy is going to be basically drip fed throughout the day versus having like a shoot and a drop. That's going to help you reduce stress. And then by reducing stress, it means that your cortisol is going to decrease. You're going to be able to release fat more easily. And also it's going to prevent those binging episodes when you get home. Twofold, because first of all, you've eaten, so you're not hungry because you've eaten throughout the day. And the second, you don't feel as stressed out. Your body doesn't feel as stressed out. So then when you get back, you don't feel like you need to binge, emotionally eat. So I hope this has been helpful, guys. I'm going to tell you some recommendations, okay? Hello, NYC. Who's in NYC? Let me know. Oh, Linda, I reckon. That was a guess. That is a guess. Because I can't see people's names. I could just see this. I could just see Facebook user. Linda, there she is. I knew it was going to be you. NYC in the house. Canada in the house. I can't remember where Crystal's from, but also in the house. So these are some really easy things that you can add into your day. Maybe you can have some of these for breakfast. You can have them later on as snacks in between meetings or before you leave the office. Like, these are really easy things, okay? So Greek yogurt parfait. So you can have Greek yogurt layered with berries. So the Greek yogurt is going to give you a protein. The berries are going to be a fiber and your carbs. And then you can have some nuts or seeds on top. This is going to be fiber, protein, and fat. Fat is super, super important for us, especially as women. We need that in our diet. Gone are the days where we're like, low fat diet, no fat diet. They're gone. Thankfully, the science is now proven, or has been proven for quite some time, that is BS, and we should start eating more fat. So that's one option, Greek yogurt parfait. High protein, high fiber. Next is a protein smoothie. Now, I've already mentioned smoothies as a good option, not only because they digest easily, but you can take them with you. So if you have got a meeting, you could just like guzzle that down at the same time. So you can have a protein powder. Maybe I'll do one of these on protein powders because I keep getting asked. But you can have whey, pea, any plant-based. You can have whey isolate, pure whey, whatever it needs to be. I like whey isolate. Cam likes pure whey. If you've got digestive issues, go for the isolate. If you're absolutely fine, go for the whey. If you're plant-based, get a plant-based one. Then you can have some almond milk with that, or any milk you really want to. Some spinach and a banana, and that's, again, going to give you your fiber. You're going to get the fats and the protein in that as well. So that's going to be a really good one. And then you could have boiled eggs with veggies. So you can take these with you. You can cook them the night before, boil the eggs, take them with you in a little plastic pot or something, Tupperware, and you're going to be good to go. So hard-boiled eggs. You can have some cherry tomatoes, cucumber, lettuce, hummus. Like, you can have all of those things with it, and it's going to be really easy for you just to nibble on that as you go across as well. Next thing, turkey or chicken wraps. Again, any handhelds basically are going to be really, really easy for you. Whole grain wraps, or if you've got the Mission Carb Control, I think they're called. They're super high in fiber. They're like 18 grams of fiber, which is more than most people get in one day. But you can have that wrapped around some turkey or some chicken breast, lettuce, have some salad in there with some dressing, light dressing, by the way. And that's going to be, again, it's going to be a fiber, your carbs, your protein. You can have some cheese, and that's going to bump up your fat as well. And then another option is cottage cheese with some sliced fruit, maybe like pineapples or peaches or apples. And then you can have like a drizzle of honey or some cinnamon to give it that extra flavor as well. So Greek yogurt parfait, protein smoothie, boiled eggs with veggies, turkey or chicken wrap, and cottage cheese and fruit. missed this, just catching up now. Boiled eggs are always a great idea. They are, yes, whoever said that, correct, they are a good idea. I think a lot of people are like, oh, but they smell and I'm going to be in the office. Let them smell. Don't worry about what other people think. I'm really not that bothered what other people think. Like, as long as I'm happy and healthy, that's the priority. Otherwise, if I'm annoyed or hungry or hangry, then Cam is going to know about it. Our team is going to know about it. Our clients are going to know about it. And that's not going to be a happy business. So ultimately, we need to make sure that you are happy so that everyone else can be happy, right? So we've got the options. We know the problems. Let's recap. We know the problems of what we're doing. We know why they are problems. We know what they're causing, behavioral and physiological. And we know some options that we can do, not only things like, planning in advance and grabbing breakfast or wherever, or grazing, but also we know 5 different options of these kinds of meals that you can have as well. So we need to, couple of side notes here. We need to make sure that portion control is there, even with healthy snacks, right? Because like I said, we could be overeating on healthy things. Lots of people will come to me and say, Faye, I've started my healthy eating diet and I was eating like cake or biscuits or chips or something. And now I'm eating salmon, avocado. I'm having salad with olive oil and a vinaigrette or something. I'm having nuts and seeds, and yeah, that's great. Except all of those things are fat. Like, yes, fat's good, but all of that stuff is really high in fat as a total. And if you've got lots of high fat things, your calories are going to be up, which means you're going to gain weight, right? So we still have to be cognizant of the calories that we are eating. Yes, they're better quality calories than the burger and the chips and the candy, but the quantity is higher. So quantity is going to be over your maintenance. Another thing you should be doing, guys, as well, is obviously staying hydrated, making sure you're drinking throughout the day. This is going to help you think, make your executive function tick along a little bit easier. And it's also going to obviously stop dehydration. Fun fact, really fun fact, that when you feel thirsty, you are already dehydrated and your brain is already slowing down, the body's already slowing down. So at that point, it's kind of too late to prevent this, and your productivity levels are already decreasing. So staying hydrated throughout the day is going to be super important. It's also going to make you feel a little bit more full as well, so you don't feel like ravenous when you get home. So staying hydrated. I know I've mentioned that quality and quantity a couple of times, but having nutrient-dense food. So what this means is lots of nutrients versus empty calories. So an empty calorie could be alcohol, for example. You don't get anything from it nutritionally, but they are very high in calories. Versus something like, I think, carrots, for example, high in nutrients, low in calories. Okay, so you need to learn about the nutritional value of different foods. So what else? Other things like overall health and well-being as well. If you're super stressed at work, I have been there. It is not fun. I actually wrote a post today, guys. If you haven't seen it, it's over on my LinkedIn. I put it on my page as well, so you can check it out there. It's over on my LinkedIn. I wrote an article about burnout and also the female menstrual cycle. So how can you balance your menstrual cycle with your workload for optimal productivity and profitability? So really important that you guys, if you have a cycle, that you know where you are and how to manage it. But ultimately, overall, stress management is one of the most important things that you can be working on in order to lose weight. The behavioral effects from stress are that you snack and you binge, or you don't eat until you binge, of course. And obviously, the increase in cortisol, like I mentioned, the increased belly fat, that can increase estrogen as well, which can cause hormonal issues down the line. So there's lots of different problems that's going to come from stress. So eating less and moving more is going to exacerbate the cortisol levels and exacerbate your stress, which we're trying to reduce. So you're going to be in you're digging yourself a deeper hole, basically. So you really need to focus on stress management as the first thing, eating enough, because restrictive diets increase stress. Chilling out a little bit, having some self-care, they're all going to make you a better leader, a better mom, a better friend, a better daughter, a better partner, wherever it is, better badass, like wherever. They are going to be the foundation. Okay, that's going to help you with sleep also, because I don't know about you guys, if I'm stressed, I sleep like crap. So that's another thing you need to be working on is sleep. So fullness is the other thing. Make sure that you're feeling full with the high quality foods. So we've spoken about time management, blood sugar stability, stress management, giving you some healthy snacking options. So I know there's a lot here. The worst thing you could do is implement them all, right? So instead, choose one or two of them that you're going to implement over the next month, nail them, and once you've done that, add another one in. Nail that for another month, add another one, add another one, add another. And you might be like, oh, this takes ages. Do you know what takes longer? Restricting massively, binging it all back, gaining weight, restricting massively, binging it all back, gaining weight. Because you think that these short-term diets are going to be quicker, but in the long term, they're actually so it's like the tortoise and the hare, or tortoise, one of them, and the hare. So we need to be the little shelled guy, not the rabbit. So guys, if you are in the Busy Women's Facebook group, then you've got a ton of support in there. Make sure you're in there, empowering yourself, empowering other people, and work on your health across the board, your lifestyle, and also thinking about long-term well-being, not just what it is now. Does anyone have any questions on that so far? Well, I finished. It's not so far. It's, any questions at all? Anyone got anything they want to share? Anyone found this valuable? I would love to know. If you guys want, I will post those options, those like food ideas in the Busy Women's group for you. And you can copy those. The other thing is I also have a hormone balancing breakfast PDF as well, guys. So if any of you want that, just comment breakfast and I will get those shot over to you as well. But it looks like I nailed this because there's no questions. It's just me doing my job. It's just me being me, guys. I hope this helpful, guys. I wish someone had told me these things when I first started my weight loss journey, when I was working my corporate job. And even now, sometimes I still need this reminder of like, yeah, I just need to actually plan my food and eat it versus winging it. And then that causes more stress. So I hope this is helpful. If you've got any questions, of course, let me know. Otherwise, have a fantastic rest of your Tuesday, and I will speak to you soon.